Hi, my name is Alexander Fendell, and my speech today will be the importance of every American to vote in this upcoming election. The message that I would like to send out to everyone from this presentation is make your voice be heard and go vote for change. When I was younger, I was taught how important it was to have the right to vote. This right enables us to have a voice in the future of our country. Voting is a right that should never be taken for granted, since it can be one crucial step in determining the type of elected officials that we need to bring real change and improvement to our society. As time went on, I was able to take the advice that was given and acknowledge that my rights for voting were paramount in a way of having my voice be heard. According to multiple sources, there is clear evidence that we must urge people to go out and vote amid the rough times that our country is currently enduring. And therefore, this will greatly affect the outcome of the upcoming elections and the future of our country. In my speech today, I will be discussing a few current issues that is affecting our society at this time. First, how the pandemic has sparked debate of how our present leadership has responded to this crisis. In addition, I will discuss the economic situation in our country right now and how this will affect the election. Lastly, I will briefly discuss the effects of the current racial unrest on the upcoming election. All of these issues mentioned above only indicate the importance of voting and letting your voice be heard. Americans are facing a lot of suffering and death that has left them grief-stricken, and Americans are feeling robbed of a voice. For this reason, voting is a crucial way of fighting and speaking up. However, according to CNN.com, there are fears that voter suppression will be greater than ever due to the confusion and multitude of rules from the pandemic that will lead to voters not casting their ballot. Excuse me. If voters are feeling optimistic, then the economy is usually doing well. However, if they are feeling pessimistic, then the economy is usually reeling. In the year 2020, we have witnessed an unprecedented move from voter permission due to the sudden onset of this COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent downturn. What happens between now and November will determine the results for the election. The outcome for the upcoming election and the future of our economy, of our country, is very hard to predict due to the sudden changes that have occurred. And if you add the recent social unrest on the heels of the pandemic, our need to vote is more than acute now than ever it has before. Increasing the number of people that vote in each election means better representation, more funding to our communities, and a better quality of life. Politicians, however, listen to only two things: money and voting. In these unprecedented times, with uncertainty over the future of our country, the time is now to respond and use the only method that is available to us, and that is to vote, which has been the leading symbol of our democracy since the founding of our country. According to a source, Niskanen.org, View Research suggests that protests can change partisanship and voting, helping liberal and conservative protesters have their mark. Due to the unprecedented nature of the crisis that faces us in our country today, It has never been more important for us to vote and urge our fellow citizens to vote as well. The outcome of the upcoming election will be hard to predict and will be predicted on the factors that were mentioned earlier in my speech. The pandemic, economic downturn, and racial unrest will sway voters and change the direction and the future of our great country. Lastly, the statement that I made earlier, make your voice be heard and vote for change, the time is now.